In this video,
Roy Jones tattoos Brannon, and then Jones says, "Look, you want more? Okay."
we look back at some of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history. Let's get straight to it.
12 seconds left. 6.
See the muscles bulging as he races across the ring and launches a wild right to the body, and Roy Jones stands in a peekaboo as Bryant Brannon throws about 8 winged punches in a row.
Brannon was a real gangster. He'd been shot several times and served time for armed robbery. His fighting style came straight from the streets, pure all-out attack. But Roy in his prime was as dangerous as a coiled snake against the ropes.
I think he might be getting under Roy's skin a little bit, though. I mean, Roy hasn't seen this too often and probably doesn't like it much.
He's been very calm, I think, though, Jim. Good left hook by Roy Jones.
Oh, he rocked Brannon with a solid left hook, and now he's got Brannon wobbled. Here we go. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And I think the punch that started that was a left to the body.
Later in his career, Roy wasn't as effective with his back against the ropes. But for now, he was a nightmare to deal with. Brannon got a taste of that nightmare.
Well, in some instances, it's not how many you land, but how much they hurt.
And there's that snapping left hook by Roy Jones again. And there it is again.
Wobbles Brannon again. Brannon having trouble for the moment, staying on his feet. Lipton watching closely. Jones blinding Brannon with his overwhelming hand speed.
That started the fusillade of punches. And there you see it.
Left hook to the body.
Left hook to the body. Just under the rib cage.
Good eyes, Larry.
Roy Jones often...
There was the one, that left hook right on the chin.
Left hook again.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, we said earlier he had a bullet lodged in his neck. Now he's got a bomb there.
The Trenton crowd can't believe what they're seeing. They were so psyched for the possibility of Bryant putting up a big fight against Roy Jones. And their man is just getting hammered in there now. Ron Lipton watching as Roy Jones tattoos Brannon. And then Jones says, "Look, you want more? Okay."
Roy gave the referee a chance to stop the massacre, but when he didn't, Roy took matters into his own hands.
You want to ask again who's the best fighter in the world?
No, I don't have to ask that. So he stepped away and looked at Lipton as though he didn't want to hurt Brannon and said, "Must I do this?" And Lipton says, "Yes, you must." And Roy says, "Okay." And he starches the guy.
Brannon ended up knocked out, face first on the canvas, and the announcers were left wondering if Roy was even human.
After a performance like this against a brave, tough guy, you know, we saw what we saw. There's nobody else who can do this.
What an incredible gift. You can't teach the stuff that Roy Jones does, Gil.
No, I've never seen like triple left hooks, 7 left hooks in a row so quick and so accurate. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Every fighter has that one performance where they look absolutely sensational, and for me, Bo's fight against Contreras is the standout moment. That punch was the first knockdown, and you can almost hear Contreras thinking, well, that wasn't in the game plan. Now, let's talk defense. Yes, defense. Bo isn't always known for his defensive prowess, but when he decides to actually be good at it, he's like a brick wall with legs. It's almost like he's saying, you know what, today I'll make sure no one hits me unless I let them. Then Bo switches gears to his incredible inside fighting game, and it's like watching a masterclass in close quarters combat. He gets in close, and it's clear that he's not just throwing punches, he's orchestrating a symphony of destruction.
Boom, the right hand upstairs, just over that dragging left hand of Manny Contreras.
By the time the fight is over, Contreras is left wondering if he accidentally signed up for a demolition derby instead of a boxing match. In short, Bo's performance against Contreras wasn't just a win. It was a showcase of why he was so sensational in the ring. When he was on, he was unstoppable, combining skill and power in a way that left no doubt about his greatness. In my opinion, this fight is hands down one of the best brawls of the 1990s. It's got everything you want. Drama, heavy leather, and a couple of guys who clearly don't know the meaning of the word quit.
Neither man has gone to the body much. Rahman is obviously thinking about it in this round. Some body punching now.
Oh,
set up
that was it. He made it miss the left, right hand, and he countered with the left.
Absolutely, he timed it right that time. So there's the first knockdown of the fight as Rahman goes down and complains to referee Eddie Cotton that it shouldn't have been ruled a knockdown.
And he is wrong, of course, because the ropes held him up.
It was an explosive left hand off the missed right. Now Sanders tries to finish up with 30 seconds to go in the round and goes down himself on a counter right hand.
Yeah. 4, 5. I think he's stunned as much as being hurt because he didn't see the punch. He was in the process of trying to finish off Rahman.
I don't know when I've seen a fighter walk to his corner and go down to his knee to rest. Bell sounded too early. Round hasn't ended. Oh, that wasn't the official bell. Somebody else sounded a bell of some sort. Well, that was confusing, but the fighters got through it okay, and what a round.
The uppercut Sanders landed on Rahman, wow. Sanders walked him into that perfectly, like he was inviting Rahman to step on a trap door. Rahman was almost lifted off his feet like a cartoon character who stepped on a rack. You can't help but appreciate the power behind that punch. Rahman looked like he was about to take flight.
Rahman, to his credit, saw it and shot his right through.
Sanders hits the canvas like a sack of potatoes, and the look of shock on his face is priceless. Mainly because he didn't see it coming at all. It's like he was thinking, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be winning here. Both of these guys decided to use throwing punches as their main form of defense in this fight, and it shows. Here they are, just swinging at each other like they're in a bar fight, and they're loving every second of it. It's almost as if they decided, who needs defense? Let's just see who can hit harder.
Catch him with the right. This is just going to be an old-fashioned slugfest from here on in, and they almost both went down.
Yeah, but Rahman held on to the ropes to break his fall.
Sanders looking confused now as he looks at his corner to Harold Bulbrecht. Long way to go in this round.
We almost got a double knockout there, but the replay will show us that Rahman held onto the ropes for dear life to keep himself up.
But held himself up with that left hand, which was fortunate.
It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but it's there and it just adds to the chaos.
Landing his body punches. In most of the countries, even though South Africa is not Europe, they still primarily concentrate on head punches.
Straight right hand by Rahman, right on the button. And a right, and a left, and a big rally. And Sanders tries to hold on. And Rahman's just pounding away. Sanders covering up, covering up, covering up. Rahman just punching, punching. Eddie Cotton looking in.
What's Sanders?
Eddie Cotton's going to stop it. Corey Sanders not defending himself.
And that's a good example.
Rahman punches him right out of the division.
Punched him right out. He should have grabbed the man and tied him up. When you're hurt like that, grab the thing that's punching and beating you up. Grab the arms and tie the arms up.
Well, but he was hit by about 15 to 17 straight punches.
Unanswered.
And early on, he seemed dazed, just trying to survive the onslaught, but not doing anything to get out of the way.
Well, the referee had no choice. When you're getting hit that much and you're not returning any punches, he has to stop the fight.
And let's talk about that stoppage. Honestly, I can't argue with it. Rahman was throwing punches like they were going out of style, and Sanders was just trying to remember which way was up. The big mystery here is why Sanders didn't just grab Rahman and hold on for a bit. Maybe take a quick breather, but no. Sanders just stood there, covering up like he was trying to survive a hailstorm, while Rahman was more than happy to keep the hits coming.
At this point in time, when you're hurt like that, even punches that's landed on the side of your head on the gloves, they still vibrate through and they cause a lot of damage.
Sanders' only previous loss was a knockout by Nate Tubbs way back in 1994. It's been 6 years since he lost a fight. almost 6 years to the day, in fact, because that was May 21 of '94. This loss probably seals his fate as a marginal heavyweight contender who was discussed in relation to a lot of big fights and written about in relation to a lot of big fights through the '90s, but never really got there.
Yes, well, I think right now at this point in time in his career, he'll have to be resigned to the fact that he was a WBU champion and have to accept that, and that's going to be his biggest claim to fame.
And maybe he can get that handicap back down to 2. There's his wife and daughter.
In his fight against Billy Whitehurst, Liston controlled the fight with his power jab. Notice how Liston maintains perfect balance at all times. It didn't take long before Liston got his powerful hooks going. Liston's punches have the subtlety of a bull in a china shop.
'Good stiff right. A good chopping right.
Liston realized he could land the right hand after doubling his jab. It leads to a knockdown out of the ring.
12 seconds left. 6, 7, 8, 9. The bell rang. That was about as close as we've ever seen a finish. Whether he was knocked out, the bell rang, and I don't know whether the referee's going to call it a knockout or not. Is that a knockout?
I think he needs really a very, very big finish, Jim Rock, from this point in. Oh, right hand is an absolute corker. He walked onto it, Rock, and he's flattened for the first time in his pro career. Up he gets, he doesn't know where he is. It's going to be stopped. The towel's been thrown in. It's all over, and Takalou did that with an absolute peach of a punch. He is the WBU's light middleweight champion all over again. And Rock is in a bad way. That was one of the biggest punches we've seen in a British ring in recent times.
It really was a thunderous right hand. He just waited for the gap, the chin went up, and then flush on the chin, all his weight into it, just as Rock was coming forward, and Rock could never continue from that punch.
Yeah, he somehow scrambled to his feet, but he was all over the place. That was a fight-ending punch. It wasn't quite the lights out treatment, but it was the next best thing.
Well, yeah, it was good enough. It certainly was a really good shot, and the referee could never have let Jim Rock go on. He was still in no man's land.
And you have to say about Takalou, has his technical limitations.
I had to include this fight because honestly, it ended in one of the most vicious knockouts you'll ever see. Trust me, you're going to remember this one for a long time.
Monhardin, he's got Loy above us. Down goes Loy. Monhardin knocks him to the canvas. Counts at 4.
So we just watched Larry Loy get dropped, and you can practically see Hector's eyes light up like a Christmas morning. He's going in for the kill, no hesitation.
Okay, Loy says, yeah, to get that guy in the black trunks away from me. Here comes Monhardin. Ooh, a whistling uppercut.
Now take a look at Larry. He isn't clinching. I think clinching isn't even in his vocabulary.
There they are toe-to-toe. Monhardin taking some solid shots and giving better than he's getting. Toe-to-toe. And Loy's in trouble again. Monhardin wild. I tell you what, Loy just missed a right hand that would have sent Monhardin to the third row. Uh-oh. Solid right, another one, another right. Loy goes down under the ring ropes, and that'll be it. back into the ring ropes to check him. The doctors are out. Loy is down, and Monhardine makes it 2 in a row over Larry Loy. Well, hit me if you can at the end of round number 2. Look at knockdown number 1. Good right hand. Monhardine all over his guy. Down he goes. Stayed there for the count of 8. And the final knockdown. Right hand as he has Loy against the ropes. There's a solid right. And Loy goes down under the ring ropes and out. And that settled all of that.
The right hand that drops Larry for the count is just so brutal, it's hard to put into words. I think that's one of the most terrifying shots I've ever seen. In my opinion, Larry was temporarily sent to the Shadow Realm while he was on the canvas. It looked like his soul took a detour through a wormhole before heading back to reality. It's the kind of knockout that makes you think, I didn't sign up for this level of brutality when I turned in.
Obey my commands at all times. Shake hands. Good luck to both of you. Okay.
Chavez squared off against the slick Roger Mayweather, uncle of the great Floyd Mayweather.
He holds a world title. The challenger is a former WBA champion, Roger Mayweather. He scored a good combination. That rocked the champion Chavez.
Roger had some nifty skills, but little did he know that Chavez had a chin made of granite.
Challenger Mayweather.
And what set that up, Mayweather slipped to his right beautifully. He just was right.
Yes, he is. Mayweather took 2 consecutive right hands from the champion Chavez. This one was not ruled a knockdown, but let's watch what happened again. Looks like he's already tagged him once, though.
Well, he was off balance, man. He jumped him with the right hand. He was in the air.
There was literally nowhere for Roger to hide as Chavez chased him around like a determined toddler.
Down he goes again. A short right hand from the champion Chavez.
This is only the first knockdown of the round. That could be significant.
Chavez comes in with a right hand lead. Mayweather still in difficulty trying to tie him up.
No knockdown.
No, that was not a knockdown. And Richards, well, Chavez pouring it on. He's got him again. A combination. Mayweather, no legs underneath him. And Richard Steele has stopped it. He has stopped it here in the second round. Julio Cesar Chavez from Mexico with a second round knockout of Roger Mayweather. And this young man is for real.
To this day, that punch remains one of the funniest, if not most painful moments in boxing history.
He jumped him with the right hand. He was in the air.
The heavyweight champion of the world, Floyd
Patterson defended his title against Tom McNeely with Sonny Liston as the #1 contender on the undercard.
McNeely is down with a volley of left hooks. Five, 6, 7, 8. They must take the mandatory 8 count.
Patterson found his groove early, showcasing his phenomenal head movement.
Not a straight right, more or less a right hook. Another, and there's a combination. A mandatory 8 count here in the third round. A minute and a half to go in the round.
The fight seemed like it was an elite fighter against a club fighter. Patterson's talent made McNeely look like he was out of his league.
Remaining in round 3. McNeely down once more. Mandatory 8 count, being counted by Jersey Joe Walcott.
Notice how Patterson figured out McNeely just couldn't handle his short left hook.
As a slip. And McNeely now is down from a little left chop. We have just 30 seconds remaining in the round. He is up once more at 8. 20 seconds left in the round. About 10 seconds to go in the round. And there is the bell. Watch McNeely. Let's look at Tom McNeely.
McNeely managed to land a desperate right hand.
Nearly trying to stay up on those toes. It appears he doesn't have. And the champion is hurt.
But Patterson just walked through it and retaliated with brutal blows.
A minute and 10 seconds left in round 4. Up at 8 again. 1 minute to go in the round. And McNeely is down in Patterson's corner. Patterson did not go to a neutral corner. McNeely is throwing to work. McNeely down. 10 seconds to go. Let's see, the count may toll, and the fight is over. The fight is over, ladies and gentlemen. Tom McNeely with about 7 seconds left in the round.
It was heartening to see the respect Patterson and his opponent showed each other after their bouts.
Thank you. He's one of the greatest. And if anyone ever calls him anything other but a real champion, they got to answer to me. I mean that, Floyd, from the bottom of my heart. You're a gentleman in and out of the ring, and you're a hell of a champion. You're really proud of yourself. Thank you.
Wait for that one big punch. That one punch will come, but he got to set it up.
After being stared down by Dominic Fox at the end of the first round, Jackson came out in the second round and finished the job faster than a pizza delivery on a Friday night. I think Fox was just badly hurt from the accumulation of punches, even the ones that were blocked. Fox looked like he was trying to avoid Jackson's punches by running into every single one of them. Bruno turned professional in 1982 and quickly earned a reputation as a knockout artist. In his debut fight, a sharp right hand sent Guerrera crashing to the canvas, making it look like he'd been hit by a freight train.
Bruno taking a long look at him while he was waiting in the neutral corner there. And Guerrero's down from that one. That's the right hand again, and this is what the boxing fraternity like to see. A heavyweight who can hit. Count of 8, still in the first round, remember.
Bruno found it so easy to land his right hand, you'd think Guerrero was standing still for a portrait session. Honestly, the fight might have gone on a bit too long, but hey, maybe Guerrero was just trying to get his money's worth.
From that one, and he's out. So a knockout win for Frank Bruno. The long-awaited professional debut arrived. Right hand, then the left hand.
Brian, he didn't turn pro immediately after the Olympics. He took the time to make the right decision. He felt he wanted to go to England.
When Lennox Lewis faced Jorge Dascola, he came out like a greyhound on rocket fuel.
It was to try to get some rounds out of him. Oof. I don't know if they're going to get many rounds out of him.
Lewis was notorious for his fast starts, so if you weren't ready for his right hand early on, you were basically toast. Inside the ring, Lewis's punches weren't just powerful, they were borderline evil.
Oh, rabbit punches to the back of the head, and down he went. That's the first thing about boxing, right? Number one, defend yourself at all times. Number two, keep punching until the referee says break, and that's exactly what Lennox did. The referee's stopping him.
That's it, he's stopping it with, I believe, 1 second.
I mean, some of the shots to the back of Dascola's head looked illegal, but let's face it, if you offer the back of your head to Lennox Lewis, you're practically handing him a hit-me sign.
Ontario, now based in...
Freddie Mills was one of the hardest men to ever come out of Britain.
Of the United States, now coming up the aisle.
He got caught by a series of left hooks and was in trouble.
Down for the first of a total of 4 knockdowns in round 2. Mills takes a 6 count. And now Lesovich tears in, trying for the kill.
Mills is a warrior. He tries to fight fire with fire and gets turned into a statue by an uppercut.
Down for the second time in the round. He's hurt as he listens to referee Henderson's count. 7, 8, and up at the count of 9. Lesnovich, realizing he can end it right now, tears in again. And Mills goes to his knees for the third knockdown. He's trying to weather the storm by almost taking the count limit. He's up at 8, and Lesnovich goes back to the attack.
This round is disastrous for Mills. In the modern era, the fight would obviously be stopped here, but Mills is the kind of guy you have to nail to the canvas to keep him down.
And rests on one knee in an effort to last the round. Mills is up at 9. At the bell, Mills starts for the wrong corner.
It's an incredible show of heart from Mills. I have no idea how he made it through that round.
Mills is back to the ropes, and he's in trouble. Gus measures him and unleashes a two-fisted barrage that takes the steam out of the British challenger. Mills is down, holding the ropes.
The punishment keeps coming.
Mills takes a 9 count, and now he's a helpless target for Lesnovich's vicious attack. Gus has his man cornered and is determined to put him away this time. Mills is down for the 6th time. He's just about finished, but he'll gamely try to pull himself up. Final right, and it's all over.
The referee must have been daydreaming about his weekend plans because he stopped the fight so late. The poor guy in the ring took enough extra punches to cover next week's boxing highlights.
The official time of the knockout was 2 minutes and 56 seconds of the 10th round.
One of my favorite things about this fight is that knockdown in the corner. Notice the brutal body punch thrown by Gus. He gets Mills' attention with the body shot and then absolutely starches him with the right hand. That referee should have been banned after this. Mills and Lesnovich would have a rematch 2 years later. In a brutal fight, Mills would win a decision and get his revenge. More on that in future videos. At the age of 40, Oliver McCall was on a mission to turn his life and career around after battling drug addiction and enduring a career full of ups and downs. McCall, often referred to as the Atomic Bull, was one of the most intimidating figures in boxing, not just for his power, but for his seemingly indestructible chin. In my opinion, McCall had the best chin in boxing history, an absolute granite jaw that could absorb punches most fighters wouldn't dream of taking. Just look at him here. His sheer presence alone would make most people think twice about crossing him.
Champion of the world, known as the Atomic Bull, introducing Oliver McCall. Once again,
if he asked for my wallet, I'd probably hand it over before he even finished asking. Heck, I might even offer to throw in my shoes for good measure. In his fight against Salida, McCall showed why he was still a force to be reckoned with, even in the twilight of his career.
Going backward. McCall not waiting here.
Good right hand from McCall.
I think that was his best punch of the fight.
I think it was. I think it might have hurt Salida.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's an uppercut. Now McCall gets on him with a left hand, then a right hand. And another good sharp right hand at the top of the head.
He's looking for that right, baby.
Yeah, he is. Had it cocked for about 10 seconds. Uppercut right hand, down goes Salida. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Over. It is over. Oliver McCall. 40 years old and he's not.
By the 4th round, McCall had found his rhythm, consistently landing his signature right hand. He also mixed in a nasty left uppercut, keeping Salida guessing and unable to find a safe place in the ring.
You know what? He made him bend his waist. Got in the first uppercut, making his head come down from then on. All gone.
That right hand was brutal.
He finished. He got focus on him, kept his head down a little bit. Salada bows again, weaves a little bit, and that's when he goes. Don't have to go up high at all.
That uppercut going to be coming here in a minute. There it is.
That is. The one shot that you don't want the shorter guy to hit you with is an uppercut, and that's what happened.
That's the one that started him on the way. Good sharp right hand. You saw his knees buckle.
That's that uppercut. One after another. Never lose your height advantage by bending your head forward for the uppercut.
Now, the other thing I thought he did too was very savvy is when Salida tried to grab him and tie him up, he just stepped back and wouldn't allow it.
Kept his patience, kept focused, stayed close, eyes wide open, fighting like he's about 27 years old.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, he came in here with an idea, and you know, his name.
Even at 40, with all the battles he'd fought inside and outside the ring, McCall proved that he still had the power, the toughness, and that legendary chin that made him a nightmare for any opponent.
Thank you for the fight. I just wanted to congratulate you because it was a great fight, and that's the fight I wanted to win, of course, but that's the fight I wanted to be happening, so I didn't want to run and stick, and you were trying just to hit me, and I prefer to stand up in front of you and try to win this way.
But nice fight.
Thank you very much.
Nice fight, no problem.